chewing the fat and talking hotel tech. It's time for Two Smart Fellas.
Can you hear me?
No, now I can. Thank you.
Pow, 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 pow. We don't know for how long.
Welcome. Fabian, if anyone doesn't know, is in Brazil, or otherwise known as Brazil. and it's going to be a dodgy connection. Fabian may last 5 minutes, 15 minutes. We don't know. I'm just happy. I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're here. And
so I'm on the Wi-Fi, but it's temperamental, to say the least.
Emphasis on the mental of temperamental. Definitely.
Oh no! It has the flavor of a Brazilian woman.
A flavor.
It's really, really good, or it's really, really not good.
Okay. There's no middle ground.
And there is no how do you call that? There is 0 to 100 faster than a Ferrari. So you imagine me being German, we take years to get from 0 to 100 when it comes on the emotional spectrum.
Oh yeah.
You got the Brazilians like done. We're at 100, and you kind of go like, okay, what just hit me, and then it's over. We're back to 0.
Yeah, I can relate. I'm born in Peru, so Latino. And I get it. We're hot-blooded, they say. Hot-blooded, which is a good thing in moderation, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, Fabian, I'm hoping you can stay the whole episode, because I was thinking in the last 5 minutes, he may not connect, or if he connects, he may disappear, and I have to do this solo. I don't want to do this solo. It's two smart fellas. It's
exactly
nicht ein smart person. So tell me,
I'm trying to figure out how to switch off anything else that is blocking my Wi-Fi connection.
Of course, turn Skype off. I'm going to turn Skype off now as well.
Yeah, did that.
That chews up bandwidth. So Skype.
That's done.
We also have two people live, Fabian. Uwe and also Zori are definitely live. Welcome.
Welcome.
And Uwe, I'm just going to pick up your message from Facebook on the phone, because we don't need that stuff plugged on. My mic is on. Yeah, cool. Okay, thank you. Fabian, is that you? Someone just messaged us.
No, Zori.
Oh, Zori.
You're very welcome, Zori.
You're welcome, Zori. So, Fabian, you're in Sao Paulo?
Sao Paulo, yeah. We're on the way to Santa Clara. So, taking a day or two off Christmas.
Is that North Coast, South Coast? I don't know Brazilian geography.
I wouldn't have a clue, mate. It's a 2.5-hour drive from here, and it's a resort with a lot of horses and animals.
Lovely.
So it's you know it yourself. If you have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, your decision-making power is very limited.
Yeah.
So whatever is in the kids spectrum at the moment.
Yes. Yeah. I know.
All I know is they have 20 people looking after kids as like those animateur kind of things, and they have this entire day of activities. So I'm happy to possibly get an hour or so for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, you've been missing in action. You're on holidays, I think, but you had a 85-hour flight to get from Singapore to Sao Paulo.
If you want to kill yourself, go on a flight for 16 hours with a 2.5 and a 4.5 that have slept for 7 hours on the previous flight. Yeah. It's literally, they were awake until about 2 hours prior to landing, and 14 hours. Oh my, I don't know how often. I was counting the steps, or trying to count the steps to go around once the plane, just to see how much one round is.
Yeah.
And hoping it would be like 100 meters or something like that.
Yeah.
But then every time you want to go to business class, they kind of told you have to go back.
Yeah.
That was annoying.
I feel your pain. I've been there. Remember, we used to live in Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
Go back to Scotland every second Christmas when Maya and Bodhi were 4 and 2, and younger.
Oh my God.
I think the first flight we did with Maya, I think she might have been 6 months old or 8 months old.
That's okay. If there's 6 months, it's easy. Bassinet.
Yeah. No, we've done the 4 and 2. We've done the 4 and 2. I've done the walking around up and down. I mean, I completely understand. But so you've been off the grid, so to speak.
Yeah.
So much going on in the interwebs. So much going on in the LinkedIn world. So let me tell you. Well, firstly, I mentioned before, there's 4 of us here. You in Sao Paulo. I'm here in Manchester. Uwe is in Abu Dhabi. Welcome. Zori's in Pune, I believe. That's where I think he's based. He may not be in Pune right now, but so the 4 of us, where are we? So Abu Dhabi, Manchester, Pune, Sao Paulo, all on this live webinar. What are we today? Friday. Almost Christmas. It's Friday. What is it? 22nd?
Yep.
Yeah, Friday, 22nd of December, 2017 on the Two Smart Fellas podcast. And so Fabian, let me tell you, firstly, you know our YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Only 51 subscribers now.
Awesome.
Yeah. 51. Yeah. Oh, yes, we are live. Andre just pinged me from Skype. We are live, mate. Come and join us. Yes, mate. Come and join us. Yes, mate. Join us. I might have to email Andre the Zoom. Andre Balju is in Cologne, Germany.
Perfect.
So Fabian, only 51 subscribers. And, you know, last week's episode, part of it was a small educational segment on PMS.
the tiny little 1 hour.
I told you it was my favorite subject. Anyway, a lot of activity, a lot of feedback, a lot of argy-bargy, a lot of PMS wars, let's say. And on LinkedIn, let me see if I can. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah. But now we're on your Instagram.
No, that's fine. If I go over here, and we go over here, this particular post, which was really, I was sharing a post. Muse had posted a document or a blog post, whatever you call it, about a year ago about Oracle, hospitality, the Opera PMS, and commentary about moving to cloud. And Evan Davies from Booking Factory had shared that. And you know, basically, I shared it, and then it's kicked off. So 8,000 views, which is, and it's kicked off with, you have to read it. I won't go into it right now, but Sophie from Guestline made some interesting comments. Richard from Muse, Craig from CMS down there in Australia, Adrian Klengelt, and you can Adam Harris from Cloudbeds was chipped in. Now Motti.
What did Aaron say?
Well,
Okay.
I crack him up, but anyway, Motti Tadmore from Stay in Touch. He's one of the former senior developers at Oracle. Well, let's call it Opera PMS developer. And anyway, once you're back, well, actually, no, don't even worry about it. Just suffice to say, things have been a bit feisty. Okay, so now Andre needs the link.
I mean, to be fair, mate, it's we are integrating with the cloud stuff from Opera at the moment, and it's a painful process to go into their new systems.
Well,
because I think they have not everything back in order. Because don't forget, right, they have this legacy system that has been there for donkey years, and now all of a sudden they're going into something new. So they have never really innovated anything else in doing patches and upgrade and bug fixes. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got to move that giant onto a different platform, and now we got to start writing a new API and a new integration, and it's painful, mate.
No, well, it's not. Yeah, you're absolutely right, but it isn't that simple, because Oracle PMS, sorry, not Oracle PMS, Opera PMS keep getting Oracle and Opera mixed up. Opera PMS was written in a programming language that's no longer supported, a language called Oracle Forms on an Oracle database. And without going into too much detail, because I don't really understand the technical detail, Oracle Forms is like an extension of the DB. The logic, the programming logic, is both in the database and in the presentation layer. Not easy to detach the business logic and have a new presentation layer. So not 3-tier or N-tier architecture. Old legacy. And you can say, let's just keep the DB. Let's put in API links into the DB with a cloud front end. Yes. And they've tried many things. Anyway, yeah, a challenge. But, 6 participants now. Oh, wow, who else is here? Andre, welcome, mate. I'm Fabian. Do you know Andre?
Yeah, we've met in Bali. And Litaros.
That's right. LV is here. This is a real party.
But, oh my God.
But
this is like,
you know what? It's a sausage fest. We need some female audience members. Don't you think?
Yeah, Andre, can you change your name to Andrea?
No. Andre, LV, welcome.
Cool.
So you work with LV.
I did, yeah.
I was there last week at the Good Hotel London.
Yeah, I saw the picture. I saw the love.
Yeah. Well, we went live. We went live with Muse, basically brand new tech. Muse Cloud PMS, vertical booking CRS, live. I think vertical booking is the first CRS to integrate with Muse using the Muse API. Anyway, it went really well. Welcome, LV. Welcome, Andre. Guys, feel free to chip in with any questions and answers. If you didn't hear it before, Fabian's in Brazil on holidays, and thank you, Fabian, for making time. And Fabian's internet is a little bit dodgy, and so he might drop out. So what we're going to do this week is the format, I should say, or the running order is we are going to start with predictions, because that's the main topic of today's show.
And last week, but it was hijacked by an hour of PMS nostalgia.
Well, so you can confirm this. I was against doing a tech predictions because we were supposed to do it last week, but PMS went a bit longer than planned. But normally the main topic of the episode is at the very end. But because Fabian's internet might drop out any second. In fact, it's really good. I mean, it's fantastic now.
Yeah. I literally moved. So if you see a boy in diapers running in, that'll be my son.
Oh, cool.
If you hear any tensions, that possibly is my daughter, Rafa.
Yeah.
Any other screaming might be my wife.
Okay, cool. So we're going to start with tech predictions. Then, Fabian, you're going to review a startup called Splitty, not Spliffy. And
yes.
Then we've got an audience question from Zori. Zori asked about, can you explain the difference between IDS, GDS, ODS, ADS, all of the rest of it? So yes, Zori, we absolutely will. And then I'm going to round out with a bit of news this week.
Exciting.
And I've promised Fabian that the educational part or the demystifying part, max 15 minutes.
No. We said 5 minutes, mate. Don't go for 15.
Oh, I can do 5. No, but I want to answer this question. I don't want to, what do you call it? Create more mystery after demystifying. It's just a few slides. It's 4 slides.
I don't know. 1 minute each. 30 seconds intro, 30 seconds outro.
Yes. Now, Fabian, should I answer these Q&As or?
No, it's just a Q&A.
Yeah. Andre says he's not answering it, not changing his name.
Boo.
Good. Andre said congrats on good hoteler. Thanks, mate. And also to Richard and the Muse team. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Nice way to round out the year.
Yeah.
I think next stop for us will be Guatemala, which is the next good hotel in February. Anyway, Fabian, let's get this show on the road.
Excellent. Let's get it started. So in line with, I can't press the buttons, line with 2018, we thought about, what are you doing?
Well, you tell me when to click.
Yeah, we were thinking about catchy titles and we kind of didn't agree on anything. So then the Star Wars thing came out, and there's really big discussions around the future of Star Wars at the moment in there between the hardcore fans that didn't get what they wanted and the rest of the world that is happy.
Yeah.
So we thought about 2018 predictions, and to set the scene, there's a lot of articles around what is really exciting in 2017. Can I click your stuff? No, I can't click your stuff. We are at the moment still in an expectation economy. And what that really means is that back in the day, you would go for a coffee. Now you're going for a Starbucks. It can't just be a dress. It most probably has to be vintage or some designer. It can't be just a sneaker, but it got to be a Nike or Reebok or whatever that is. And then the smartphone, generally you're not calling them smartphones anymore, but you're saying, do you have a Samsung or an Apple? Right? Or do you have a Google? So you're kind of using brands interchangeable with objects. I would say right now, what that also means for us is that we are essentially brand ambassadors for smaller items in our daily lives, and we are switching it on and off. So at the moment, I might be a Starbucks one, but tomorrow I could be Coffee Bean, right? Yeah. Just because there's no Starbucks around. What that means for us as guests and as hoteliers is that we need to slightly address those items. And there's a big discussion at the moment around, should I brand every little thing, including the soap, so on and so forth, in my own brand, right? Should I put the days in on every little thing across a hotel just so that people know, hey, we are at the days in? Or do you actually want to use branded items in order to make the connection and upvalue your brand in the back end? Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, we then move over to what's the state of affairs by 2030, right? So I'm pretty sure if we would have brought that up when you were younger, about 20 years ago, Erik, Hilton, Marriott would have been on the top, right? Expedia most probably wouldn't have even existed.
Is this market cap?
That's market cap. Yeah, no, sorry, revenue turnover.
Turnover in billions per annum?
Yes, correct.
But projected for 2030?
Projected, correct.
Okay.
But you can clearly see that, price, you can argue about Priceline and Expedia, but Priceline, as far as...
2030, what are we now, 2017? Who did this? So they're saying in 13 years' time...
Airbnb right? will be the biggest brand out there. Think about it.
Did you make this up, or this is from...
No. This is from Google somewhere. I did what your wife does. I Googled it. Yes, I said state of affairs by 2030 and it came up.
Sorry. Okay. So they're saying that Airbnb will be valued much more than Marriott and Hilton.
But I do believe it comes from Focusrite or Gartner or one of those guys.
I think it looks like a Focusrite kind of thing.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is that I remember an article about the Priceline CEO saying the biggest $20 billion mistake he did was when somebody came and said, like, hey, do you want to do this taxi thing? And he said, no, that's stupid. Doesn't make any money.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's a meme now, I think. Blockbuster said no or ignored Netflix back in the day. That's a meme. You see it all.
They've closed the last store, right? You brought it up in episode 1 or something like that.
Exactly. No more Blockbuster, and now it's Netflix. Okay, so yeah, look, Airbnb is also going to be in my news item later on today, and this is my comment just about the brands that you've got here on the slide, and I'm going to make a comment imagining that you're a hotel owner. Fabian, you're building a 400-room property in KL. It's going to be luxury, or let's say 4.5, 5-star, corporate, and you're the owner. You're not sure what flag to put on it. You're not sure what brand or what stamp to put on it. Is it a Ritz-Carlton? Is it a Marriott? Is it a Hilton? And not just Marriott, Hilton. Which flavor of Marriott? Haven't they got like 45 brands now? Moxie, JW, all the rest. Andre could tell us more about those brands. I bet if we had a trivia night involving hotel brands, get Andre on the team because he knows every Marriott brand. Hilton as well. But what I'm saying is, you're an owner and you're thinking about what brand, how should I brand my property? And then you talk to someone at booking.com Or maybe you talk to Brian Chesky at Airbnb. Let's keep it back on Booking.com. And you talk to someone at Booking.com and they say, imagine you're the owner, you're on an airline flight, a 16-hour flight, and someone's next to you from Booking. And you tell them, I'm not sure which brand to put on it, Hilton or Marriott. And maybe it's Pepane, the CMO at Booking. Pepane says, why don't you brand it Collection by Booking.com or just Booking.com, or give it any name, powered by Booking.com.
Absolutely.
Oh, really? What do you mean by that? Well, we're the number one marketplace, and we can absolutely maximize digital marketing, lower your what do you call it, acquisition cost, better than any of those hotel brands. We'll do the challenge any day of the week. And the owner goes, oh, okay, well, these guys are charging me X% management fee, blah, 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 blah. And is there not a hotel brand? I'm a hotelier, right? I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Is there not a hotel brand out there that can ever say to the owner, we can outperform Airbnb, we can outperform Expedia, we can outperform Booking? No. Now, it's more than that, clearly. But what do you think about that?
I mean, look at what Evan mentioned that yesterday to me, which I didn't realize, but Home and Away is giving away their own PMS, right? And they're kind of putting a 10% kickback on it, that if they can search. Hi, Rafa.
Good morning, Dad.
Good morning. If you can turn back the...
Hey, Rafa. Tudo bem? Tudo bem?
Tudo bem, Rafa?
She's gorgeous.
Yes. So
can she see me? Can she see me as well if I do that?
Yeah, she can see you as well.
Okay.
So essentially what they're doing is that they're evolving into platforms and then essentially just going for glory by cornering you into their own private little nest.
Yes,
and
exactly.
About blockchain back in the days.
Yeah.
Right? That's exactly what it's going to go down to. You will have a private blockchain and then you will hook onto that one. And I wouldn't even pass it by them to give them a guarantee to say we're getting you an 8% return on something, because at the end of the day, we will give you hidden charges along the line. So we're not going to charge you a management fee, but by the way, commission, so on and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know quite a bit about Home Away. Robert Jackson, my ex-colleague, is now with Home and Away. And I've seen the spec, the API for their PMS. It's a really good spec. It contains a lot of content and all the rest of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, but, for them to just raise the price of their commission, well, it wasn't just that. Basically, what they were saying is any of their owners, the villa owners, etc., property owners who are using their PMS. Now, if the guest makes a booking directly with the villa, and they can use their cookies or means of attribution and say, actually, that person who booked with you directly within the last 14 days, let's say, was on Home and Away, we'll charge you commission on that one because, yes, they booked you directly, but they probably found out about you through Home and Away. How cheeky.
Yeah, but mate, that's really cheeky. No? And I said this attribution model, I mean, there's a big discussion right now around are cookies going to be yesterday? Right.
I saw that.
Then you have other predictions saying like, oh yeah, everything will be interconnected. We're not there yet. Let's also be a bit honest, right? Before the cookies leave, first of all, somebody got to find a new cake.
Yes.
So, but it's a cheeky way because we all know that when you do marketing agency, they kind of go like, we gave you a 20 million% return on investment. Great. So that's $150, right? That's fantastic. And how do you actually attribute it? We can't really attribute it because we're only looking at the last click before it hit your website.
Yeah.
Okay. What if they clicked from different websites?
Yeah.
And it's a nightmare still, but I think it will get better. But let's look at 2018 now.
Okay.
So we asked you about predictions, right? And we had about 5,000 plus views. I think we're up to 5,500 now.
Yeah, a lot of activity. It's good actually. A lot of people have a very thoughtful opinion on this. It's great to get the feedback.
Yeah. So we had Uwe bringing in the the guest experience or enhance the guest experience. And what is nice is whatever tech thing that might be, that's great. It's, I mean, there's so much stuff going out. I think when we talk about predictions, I think the travel assistant will be a big one next year for me. Again, you have Rui, hi Rui, bringing in integration, guest management tools. So again, going down the guest experience. Mm-hmm. And then you have Gerard Wilkinson. Yes. Hello. Yeah. Bringing an interesting one in from the general data protection regulations, because we can't forget that is going to be a major stumbling block in the digital world, right? Yes. Europe is leading the way. I mean, there's nobody more anal about that stuff than Europe.
Voila, Rafa. And you're right. I obviously, everyone needs to get educated on this, particularly in the hotel space. I've gone into it in some detail, but it isn't just get permission for the customer. It's recommended a second level of permission from the guest. Not just that, but the guest at any point can ask for their data. What data do you have on me? And you must give them all their data. Now, right now, there's a time, let's say, next few months, where everyone can tidy up their guest history database. Because how many comments are in the database that are internal only about the guest? Watch out for this guy. Watch out for that one. So you've got time to tidy up your database. But in the future, the guest will be able to say, I would like to know what data you have on me.
And how did you get it?
Yeah, and companies must produce all of that data. And so obviously that has a lot of repercussions and implications. Hotels can still communicate with their clients. However, not as easy as just tick this box on the registration card or the booking engine.
I agree. But okay, we both grew up without social media, right? And then we went through the hype of a one-to-many.
We grew up with social when it was social. You actually played in the street and you actually made up your own games. Anyway, sorry. Yeah. So
in the social part, then once we go on to Facebook and stuff, it was a one-to-many conversation, right? So essentially what we did is like, hey, everybody, look at me. I'm ironing my shirt right now. And now I'm live streaming from my toilet. And now I'm in the car. And it was literally like just a proliferation of stuff that I'm doing. Noise, exactly. Yeah. But we're moving now, thanks to Snapchat, to stuff like, okay, maybe I don't want somebody to pinpoint exactly when I said in something, so I can deny liability kind of thing. Like I can tell you something in a drunken state, and literally the next day I just go like, show me.
Wasn't me. Yeah.
Wasn't me. But we're going more to an intimate companionship where it becomes one-on-one again. And I think the personal assistant will go a long way. If we look at other predictions, and I know we're both looking at it from a perspective of just knock that thing for the next slide. We're looking at it and say yet another prediction, right? And what we did for you guys is we went out there and looked at all the predictions, because we didn't really want to make new predictions, but we want to talk about the different predictions, making predictions on the predictions. So we're really taking that to a new level. We went Focusrite, Skift, we went LinkedIn, Info, Deloitte, with anything that we could find out there. And Alan Young from Puzzle Partners, thank you very much, superbly put a lot of that stuff together in a nice little bar chart, I assume created by Excel.
Yes, it's a nice little bar chart. Do you know Alan? Have you met him?
Oh, yeah. Worked with Alan.
Well, he's my ex-colleague way back in the day. And nice guy, knows his stuff. Only objection I have with Alan, and you can confirm this if you've seen him recently, does he still have a little flavor saver here? A little bit of not a goatee, but a little bit of hair just under the lip.
Oh, yeah.
I call it a flavor saver. Does he still have that?
Yes, he had.
Okay, that's my only objection. It's not a good look, I'm sorry.
Flavor saver.
If you're going to grow some hair, do it the proper way. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So we have a lot of AI there. We're talking personalization. We're now talking virtual reality, voice activation, self check-in, check-out, digital keys, cloud, merchandising, whatever that means.
Okay, so
Internet of Things.
Alan has done a ranking by mentions.
Yes, correct. So essentially, you went through the different things and said, similar to what we did. We just looked out for predictions, then looked at it and essentially just said, okay, how often do we find something that shows something?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if we're going on the next slide,
Yep.
a few others we found. So, and the rise of the robots, AI, machine learning. I mean, yes, we're going to get there in some form of another. I think the biggest one will be the chatbot. Still, it will still be automation, but it will not be full-blown sexy AI stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of the chatbots that I've looked at personally recently are less semantic analysis, less real machine learning, but it's a communications tree.
Oh, it's a business rule, right?
Answer this. If they say this, answer that.
Absolutely. It's a business rules decision thing. And my thing is, every time I want to check if Bob is really Bob, I swear at them and I literally put an FU in there and then see what comes back. And if it comes back like, sorry, I don't understand what you mean, then I know I'm talking to a robot, right? Then there's no point.
Yeah.
And it's the first, but if something comes back and say like, yo, easy, right? Then you know, okay, sorry, now Bob, that I know that I have Bob and not Bob the computer. Now let's have a conversation.
Other than same thing with Skype support, I had some issues with Skype on the credit. I was adding credit and it basically gave me a receipt, online receipt, 24 times in a row. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, it's only $10, but if they've done it 24 times, let's just make sure they've only billed me once. So I went through the support. It was fine. Like, I still got the emails, but I think it was a person in India, which is where a lot of call centers are. So it took a long while to work out if they were a human or a robot, just because of just the way they were communicating and responding to my
You know what Expedia does? So if you call Expedia, then let me put you on hold and then you hear the sound of somebody tapping on the computer. It's bizarre. I mean, you know exactly it's a recording because you're...
Oh, really?
It's like... It's ridiculous. It's like, why do you do that? There's not somebody sitting there and going, oh, he's really searching.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let me search this for you. I can't hear you, but I can hear the keystrokes. Yeah. So I found mobile first pretty funny. That we're still having that conversation in 2017
mobile
17 or 18.
It was so 3 years ago, I think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. If you're not on mobile, forget it.
But I think with mobile... I'm not sure whether Alan went into this sort of deep analysis. There's definitely Google now will be changing SEO rankings, or will highlight the results in the SERPs, in the results page, based on whether the website is really mobile optimized, which is a new thing. Maybe that's what he was referring to.
Yeah, but no, that is other stuff I found. So that's not Alan. That's other stuff. What I think might be happening is that when people design apps or software now, they're designing it the other way around. They're designing for the small screen and then allow for the big screen later versus, hey, let's do out this big thing and then let's see how it looks on a mobile. So we're responsiveness, we're doing the other way around. Now,
it's like our podcast. We can watch it on YouTube, on the phone, or SoundCloud in your ears, or live on Zoom. Like we are doing today. Anyway, just a little plug there for our show. Go ahead.
What do you think of the video stuff? I mean, everybody's talking about video is king, but I still get slapped with those 1.5 minute kind of
I'll tell you.
Video advertisement. It kills me.
Yeah. Well, so
not the 6 second ones. Those ones I like. They're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, done.
Okay. So yes. So look, YouTube. I'm all in on video in general, and I personally consume a lot of information that I look for on YouTube, both for personal interests, sports, other podcasts in other areas. And if I need to learn how to do something, I'll just try and find a video. How do you do that? Because I'm not a handyman. I can hammer a nail into a wall. That's about it. And I can lift heavy stuff. But because I consume a lot of YouTube, I'm expert now of just skipping ad, skip ad, skip ad, skip ad.
But do you do that on mobile? Let me just ask you, mobile or laptop?
Both. Well, mostly laptop, but on mobile, same thing. So now sometimes if it's a really popular podcast that I'm watching, I'm locked in for a 30-second ad. Okay,
that's so annoying.
Simple. I just put the phone down upside down, close my eyes, and just chill out, meditate for 20 seconds, and then pick it up and go, okay, now I'm ready to listen. Anyway, but the 6-second ads, yeah, that'd be fine. Because you know what? This is free content. I really value the content. And if these podcasters need to monetize that content and a 6-second ad makes everybody happy, I'm fine. I'm good with that. I don't mind. I don't mind a 6-second ad. That's not obtrusive, even if it's irrelevant or I object to ads. I mean, I'm an ad blocker. I don't watch TV. I don't really get exposed to a lot of ads. But a 6-second ad, I'm fine with that as a consumer.
I mean, and look at our. When you just brought in TV, right? There was an interesting article the other week that says if you see something on TV, you're more likely to research it online, right?
Yeah.
Like a travel show or something like that. But if I look at my kids right now, they go and don't say, can I watch TV? They go, can I watch Netflix, right? Or can I watch YouTube?
Yeah.
And we canceled our TV subscription, because I want on demand. I don't want
like a cable subscription.
Yeah, like you know how they offer you 90 channels and then you can go through. So if I want to watch sports, I go on the sports and I live stream it. And if I want to watch anything else, it's on demand. It's not like the good old days when I was living back home with my family and was like, oh, it's 8:15. No, it's 8 o'clock. We're going to watch the news for 15 minutes. And then let's decide if we want to watch this movie, or this movie. And then you had to make a decision to watch that movie at 8:15. And you had to be there at 8:15.
Is that same in Australia? The movies used to start about 8:30ish, but then sometimes one starts 8:35, one starts 8:45, one starts 8:50. It's like, okay, well, I watched the first 5 minutes of that because I really want to watch this. And I mean, we never. I've never had a cable subscription for sports. I don't watch football. I love sports, but we never had it. When we moved to the UK, I realized you just don't need it. There's such high quality TV available on I call it free to air, BBC, including on demand, including it kills what I've experienced in other parts of the world. And Netflix, YouTube. Sometimes we will plug in or stream from one of the laptops iTunes and get a movie from iTunes and play it through the TV. So
you know what I bought now? I bought a $99 projector, wireless.
Yeah.
So what it does is I can just stream from my phone onto the projector, and I just whack it on the wall. Nice. And it's like perfect because it's this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it in the light.
No.
But it's fantastic. All of a sudden, it's like this 3-meter thing, and it's super quickly put on. But what we realized...
Is it the one you put on the screen in Singapore at ITB that you projected onto the wall?
No, that one was a big one. That was a nice one. Yeah, guerrilla marketing, hardcore.
Yes. Yeah. Cool.
To put it out there. But okay, let's look at a couple of other ones. What's your flavor? Augmented or virtual reality?
You know what? I am completely ignorant of both because I don't want to know about it. Maybe it's really big. Oculus Rift. No doubt it's going to be interesting. I'm someone that likes to be outdoors. Yes, I go to a gym, but I prefer riding an actual bicycle in the forest or in the street. I prefer to swim in the ocean or the sea rather than a lap pool. I'd rather, you know what I mean? So for me personally, augmented reality is so far removed from the kind of person that I am. It was probably great for some people. It's going to be very interesting for hotels if guests can preview what it's like in the room. Great, good. I'm happy to be quite ignorant of that right now as a consumer. And eventually, if it has some implications for hotel tech, I'll study it and get into it. But personally, I'm all about real reality, and it doesn't appeal to me. I'm probably sounding really old now, but that's just how it is.
Well, I can see some benefit, right? If somebody offered me to have a date with Cindy Crawford, the young one, right? You can have dinner with anybody and anyone you want. I see it more of that we're going to have avatars that we send somewhere, right? So it's like, Erik can only be in one meeting at a time. So Erik sends his travel assistant buddy over to do the meeting on the other side. You kind of have like each meeting in one ear. But I see what you mean. I didn't get I really, I struggled with the Pokemon stuff. I literally struggled with it. And living in Asia, I mean, it was hardcore. I'm telling you, the doors on the subway opened and 100 people were running outside because there was a Galacticon or something like that hidden somewhere in the bushes. And I was just like, people, what is wrong with you? Seriously.
Yeah. We were into it for about 3 days, me and the kids. That was it, over it. I was like, is that it? Is that all there is? I thought, okay, so.
Yeah, there was nothing else. But if you would have bought the shares a day prior, you would have made a killing.
Oh, okay.
So what's your thought on the in-stream advertising?
In-stream?
So, you scroll through and then all of a sudden either it comes in the front or in the back.
Are you talking about, not about video anymore, you're talking about just your news feed?
In general, it's in your news feed, but equally it could be a short little video or just a picture or a combination of both.
Fine, I'm always going to find a way to skip it or ignore it. So, and even in Instagram, you have sponsored posts, right? Or a certain celebrity that you follow has a promotion in comparison. Once I just see ad or whatever, I just skip through. I think a lot of people, not just me, but a lot of people, especially on mobile, are really adept at skipping, blocking, ignoring, getting around ads, unless the ad is really creative, interesting, and compelling. Right?
And suitable to your needs, right? It's some of them you watch.
Yeah. Or I'm in that mind space. I'm in that mind space of, I would like to be advertised to right now. But normally, for me, if I'm watching something or listening to something, or let's say back in the day, remember that old technology platform called Facebook? Right. Remember that old thing? So even in there, I mean, now it's just too much full of ads and videos and whatever else. But even on Facebook, they have in their earnings statements, they said that the ability to monetize advertising has been diminished because it's very difficult to serve ads on mobile for Facebook because you don't have that real estate. Anyway, so I think I'm like many people. We know how to get around ads.
Oh yeah. So for 218, if you look at it, which one is your one that you think
from this list?
Yeah. Or you have anything off the list?
No. I look at bottom right-hand corner, year of the PMS. Absolutely.
I think
I'm an old school PMS guy from way back in the day. I think I made that point last week. So
really, I think we got to revisit.
Yeah. No. Year of the PMS. Absolutely. 2018, big time. But what does a PMS mean? And is it still going to be PMS or now going to be called HMS, Hotel Management System?
I think HMS is a bit premature in 2018, but what I like is you have the like.
Yeah. Watch this space. But that's sorry. Go ahead, though.
Yeah, whatever you want to call. There is lightweight ones out there right now, right?
Yes.
And
there always will be. There always will be.
Oh, there always will be. I think it's great. It's a good time for hoteliers to change it.
Yeah.
And Rafa.
And the other thing on that is, because obviously we follow this very closely, I don't think it's good enough to have your sales pitch as your cloud PMS and then full stop. or we're native cloud. Okay, fine. But beyond that, like, can we not talk about feature functionality? When did feature functionality, distribution capability, revenue management capability, CRM capability, when did they all disappear from the conversation of PMS? Okay, LV has a question. On PMS, do you think the great majority of old-fashioned hoteliers will understand new technology? Question.
I think they will, in the sense of, okay, what we have come through as thanks to our legacy friends, the big companies, complex is better. People take all of this stuff, take the locator, so you know anytime and every time when somebody's in your hotel, you can leave messages and you can do this and you can do that. And we have been so drummed that all of those features are required. So people will understand it if you actually bring it back to the basics of saying, what do you actually need to do with that technology, right? From a PMS perspective, it's the understanding of what do I actually want, and then cutting out all that gimmicky crap that is just thrown at me, but that doesn't help me in my core purpose. I mean, you have,
go ahead.
Vinod Bish would like to answer the question live. I would have no clue how you can do that.
I've done it. It's done. That's me.
You're the window. Okay.
Yeah, I use these login.
Sorry.
Bootstrapping, mate. We're bootstrapping.
We're bootstrapping. Yeah, that's true.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
On LV's question, I think old school hoteliers, however we'd like to call different people from different generations, I think ultimately, regardless of cloud or not cloud, it comes down to how does my business benefit? How does my operation become more efficient? How can I improve top line revenues? And importantly, how do I get visibility across the business? Do I need to wait 2 or 3 days at the end of every month before I get a consolidated view of the performance? Or on my mobile, do I have a little alert there where I can just see all of my property performance, all of my key KPIs on my mobile or on my wherever I am, online, rather than those spreadsheets with macros and pivot tables and all the rest of it that get aggregated. And I think your friends, our friends at Snapshot are absolutely building that kind of a platform, because they've realized, they are aware, like we all are, that hotels are silos of information. And so I think the genesis of Snapshot originally was get rid of all those spreadsheets, have one single view of your business. So I think old school hoteliers will resonate to that kind of visibility and how they benefit from understanding their business. And if it's cloud that's enabling that, fantastic.
But it's not really, I mean, for me, it's not always up to the hotelier, right? So one thing that I believe is clear, that technology, or the investment in technology, will now get a wider adoption, right?
Yes.
On an owner's side, on a management company perspective side, on a brand side, because it drives profitability at the end of the day, right?
Yes.
And so while the old guy will not understand it or doesn't want to understand it, it's a bit like, okay, you either get with it or you get out of it, right? Because the owners will drive that kind of investment.
Yes. Well, here's a different angle. What's the ROI on replacing a PMS? Doesn't matter what PMS. I mean, almost nothing. Let's look at Opera. To replace Opera with any new cloud PMS, what's the ROI? Very, very difficult to point to an ROI, apart from, of course, this is what we're paying.
The cost saving, right?
Well, okay, so this is what we're paying in annual maintenance fees in Opera or whatever PMS. This is our new monthly fee from our cloud system. That's really, I think, the only area, because apart from standard PMS functionality, very, very difficult to point to an ROI. Now, revenue management technology.
But the question is not even asked, mate. When that's the whole thing, right? The moment, I mean, I've been selling ref technology most of my time, right?
Yeah.
The first question is always, what's my ROI, right? But you then go to other things and like, oh, I want a rate shopper. There's nobody asking about an ROI. It's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like, oh, you take a snapshot and then I'll get all of that.
Well, you can ROI. I mean,
yeah, of course you can ROI. But you know it yourself, ROIs are always
dodgy connection, dodgy calculation.
Like you can go and say, okay, if I reduce or if I change this to this, there's a direct cost implication. But you don't go and say, my productivity will all of a sudden increase. I mean, the channel manager's easy thing, right? How long does it take you to do that right now? 8 hours. Okay. Yeah. You can now do it in 3 seconds. So how much do you pay yourself? X, done, right? Yeah. Sweet. PMS, I agree with you. It's a difficult one for them to comprehend. The first step might not yield you an ROI, but let me paint the picture to you of what you can now do with the data that you have in order to drive other revenue. So why I can't turn it back and say, this is me, but I'm actually putting you into a position that you can versus a position that you cannot. The Opera, I talked to them at ITB Asia. Okay. They're going after the budget market in Asia now. And they're happy to take a loss lead and say, all we want to do is own that segment. And that's it then. That's interesting. Good luck.
Buddy of ours, good luck with that.
They literally, I said like, so you're pitching for that budget chain, right? 30 hotels. I said, they will never be able to afford you. And he said, if we need to, we give it for a couple of cents because all I want is that segment. And once I have that segment, I'll do as I do with the rest.
Yeah, if you're talking about the chain that I think you might be talking to, and there's no need for us to name it, then good luck to whoever.
I said the same thing. But it's an interesting one because with such high revenue lines, let's say you go into one of their inlines in the P&L statement, you can grow that by 300%. It will not move the needle on the top.
Yeah.
Because it will say like, oh, we made 15 million more. And you kind of go like, well, 15 million is 0.01% of our P&L.
Yeah. Okay.
But the question, LV, to coming back to your question around the PMS, the alter-in, it's not about the new technology that they need to understand. What they need to understand is what they now can do with the technology.
Exactly.
Regardless if it's old or new technology, it's about, do you have a problem? Now you can solve that problem. Or now you can answer, like your consolidation, as you just said, from I don't want 3 days for that P&L. I want to click a button and then pretty much know what the state of affair was. You can't do that before. So now what's the benefit to you as a hotelier? Yeah. If you don't see the benefit, let's move on to the next point and not try and hammer that into you to say, okay, but it is. It's the same in revenue management. If I need to convince you in 2017 or 18 that revenue management works, it'll be a tough conversation for us to continue a relationship. Because if you haven't gotten it by now, there's an educational part, but it's an education or a convincing. And the convincing part is always like, okay, wait until you get with it.
Yeah, I've been selling RM technology, as you know, and for me, the convincing element, I would say more like education, but not education in the strictest sense. More like, let's look at this business, let's look at this asset. Ultimately, if you're speaking to the owner, they have a valuation on the asset. They may have some debt on the asset. And explaining what just a small increment, or let's say a 1% on an increase on the top line, has an 11% impact on the bottom line. Speaking in those kind of metrics that an owner thinks about, then makes more sense. We talk about ADR and shopping and sentiment and online reputation and comparison. Yes, at the operational level, this is very important, because they're executing decisions each day, or they're validating decisions each day. However, from an owner's perspective, here's your asset. Here's what the cash flow is currently. This is what the impact improvement can be, and it's a simple calculation. But anyway, this is not we need to do an RMS segment. I know you're not keen on it, maybe. I would love to one day. But
I
anyway,
know.
this is not RMS right now. Let's get back into this.
Okay. I think actually voice, travel assistance, and back to basics will be big next year. Big.
Yeah,
I think
voice for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. Even though I'm not a voice person, I accidentally on my phone, if I don't press it properly, and it didn't happen just then, it opens up and says voice control, and I hate it. It's a Siri thing. I think it's always asking me if I don't press the button properly, do you want to do voice control? So I personally don't like to use it. I do think that it's a very great benefit to many people. It lends itself to hotel tech and hospitality in general. And a travel assistant, yeah, absolutely, for certain people. Now, even if there's a great travel assistant, am I going to stop going to Skyscanner? Am I going to stop using Airbnb? Me personally, or a lot of the market? Maybe not. But there will be a segment of the market that would probably think a travel assistant is really cool. And a travel assistant will always get you the best deal.
I put it wrong. Personal assistant.
Yeah, that's what I meant though. I meant personal assistant when you say travel assistant. So yeah, it'll be interesting for some people. I'll probably test it out at some point to see how good they are compared to what I might do or what I might get. But it's interesting for sure. It's a shiny object for me right now.
What happened to me the other day was I asked something and the guy was like, let me check with Siri. And no, because we wanted to have a simple thing of like, oh, how much is actually in a pint? And you sit with 5 guys and everybody goes like, oh, it's 472. The other guys goes like, no, it's 600. Yeah. Oh, no, it's 300, right?
Well, so all of my answer would be, I don't know, but it's your shout. Because what is it about? Hey, Andre says he agrees with you, Fabian.
Agree. I mean, 2018 we'll see the start.
Yes, if Andre says voice is going to have a major influence. Just not sure if 2018 will be the year it really breaks through. There are still too many options trying to win that space. Might happen in 2018, but let's see. But perhaps
Google brought out 2 things that will all make us dumber. But I love how the new advertisements are. The squeeze me, hello. Right, I want a Google phone now. I want to get rid of my Samsung and I want to go Google too because
you mean a Pixel? Is it called Pixel?
Yeah, I don't know. Something about it gets me. The second part is the earbuds, right?
Yeah.
So now, okay, you can rip it apart and say like, oh, it's a Google Translate, and I speak in German. We should actually get those bots and try one of those. Shows in our own languages. Well, your language is English, so I'm kind of in an advantage here.
Well, I might just mix things up and speak to you in Spanish.
Oh, yeah, that'll be good.
And see if you can answer me in German.
But those kind of things, right? Imagine you just get those bots for your hotels, those earbuds.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you're not going to use it for every guest, but you always have this guest where you have difficulties getting stuff across, right? And it's just a language barrier, and you're trying your best.
Yeah.
How cool would it be when you then say like, listen guys, let's try this out, right?
Yeah.
You, me, and let's have that conversation. Yeah. And yeah, I agree with Andre wholeheartedly. 2018 will see a great increase in it, and Google sees more and more search happening.
Yeah.
It's still too much of this. You ask a question, it says, do you want me to call mom? And you're kind of like, no, don't call mom. Okay. Call Erik? No, I don't want you to call Erik. Just give me the answer. So
yeah, no, I literally never use it, and I have no interest in using it. So I'm really proudly ignorant of voice, Siri, whatever you want to call it, Alexa, whatever. I mean, once it matures, I'll definitely study it and get into it. I personally am quite adept at Googling, and I'll Google specifically to find what I'm looking for. But yeah, I definitely agree. The virtual assistant, the travel assistant, and voice will definitely emerge. But my pick from all of these is the year of the PMS. For sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sweet one. And I think the revolution and evolution of the channel manager.
Now, Andre's saying, is that a question? Is it a question? Many hotels in the US are now starting to introduce Alexa. Interesting to see how their pilots go and the results. Yeah, for sure. Well, we did a startup review 2 episodes ago on Roxy. So Google roxydevice.com or watch our episode. And that's an Alexa type of device. Anyway, watch the episode, watch the show. They're an interesting startup, particularly for the hotel space. Now, Fabian, we're trying to keep this show to an hour. It's now an hour and 10, and we've only done your section, mate. So you've got.
But at least we stuck to the main one.
No, I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. We might go Joe Rogan style, do 4-hour podcasts too. Have a little spliff and a drink while we talk. Anyway.
Oh, talking about spliff, go to the startup. Let's do the startup then.
Good.
If we're talking spliffies.
What's this?
By the way, this is where you can find the stuff. If you want those individual things and want to read up individually on 2018. I particularly enjoy the Deloitte one because it has a superb infographic. Also, the Net Affinity is super cool, even though it's just a marketing led. And the Web and Travel.
I did read the Net Affinity one. I liked it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Net Affinity, who are a very, very good Irish digital marketing company and booking engine company, one of their competitors, it's a competitor that they've been dominating, another Irish PMS, Dr. Dez's company, Book Assist, got acquired this week. Remember Dr. Dez, who was there at BTO with you from Book Assist?
Dr. Dez?
Anyway, one of the CEO of Book Assist is a guy named Des Mahoney. We call him Dr. Dez. Everyone calls him Dr. Dez because he has a PhD in something, so he's a doctor.
Yeah.
They got acquired this week.
Nice.
Anyway.
Congratulations. So
let's go ahead. Spliffy
and Splitty. So I reached out to Avi and team and asked them, okay, first of all, what is Splitty and how did you come up with it? And it was one of those things that happened through a simple mistake. So essentially what they wanted to do is use a free night and then pay for the remainders. So
hang on. What do you mean use a free night? What does that mean?
So one of your reward nights.
Okay.
Right? So let me use a reward night, get that for free, and then the rest I pay for it.
Okay.
Right? So, but doing a mistake, he then had to kind of work around it and booked the one beforehand, got the free, and then point another one. So essentially, they call it rate mixing, call it blended rates. They took it to the next level and actually said, like, how would it be cheaper if I cut my stay into multiple stays?
I'm listening. So, I don't get it yet, but I'm listening.
You're going for a 5 day, right? And you get a certain number given to you. But what they are saying, oh, very beautiful, Rafa. And what they actually say is, if you break it up into smaller sections, let's say they have you want to book a 5-day one, so the Monday, Tuesday to Friday, right? But let's say they have a 3 for 2 for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then a prepaid booking for the Thursday, but the Friday, because of high demand, is a full flexible rate.
Okay.
Right? At the moment, you would get still the 5 days, but you would never get the 3 for 2,
right? Because
it won't fit into your search criteria of saying, I want to stay for 3 nights. Hence your package. And you know that from the CRS perspective, right? If you don't pop in a 3-nighter, you will not get that package offered to you because you kind of say, why would I offer you 3 nights for 2 if you want to stay for 5?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they're going around it by saying, like, no, I'll offer you that 3 for 2. So you get those benefits and then you go to the next one. So if you now go on to the next slide, you click on the hyperlink between the picture, you're choosing your destination, then you split and match, and then you book and save. So it's a pretty cool and simple website. It's like not this scroll down for 3 hours. It's literally scroll 1, 2, 3, and you're where it needs to go. So if you go and you start booking.
Should I do this now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Choose a destination and then choose a couple of nights stay.
London. And let's go. Okay. Click search.
Yeah. So now it brings up your different hotels.
Okay.
The way it's set up is relatively similar to all the other ones. And then they have a creative offering.
Selection of hotels. Oh, hang on, it's changing. Okay.
Still coming. It's still loading.
Okay. No offense to Campanile, but that was the first property that came up. I guess it's now still rendering.
Yeah. So now you can see that instead of a Landsborough for 1,800, you can get 1,000. Is that 1,803? Yeah.
Yes.
And you get a 1,073. That's what, 80%?
40% off, it says.
40%. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. 40%. So it is.
But hang on, can I just do something here? Can I just do something? So what I'm going to do is
you're going to
go to Trivago, and so London. What were the dates that I chose? December 24. I saw 28 to 31. Okay, so 28 to 31, a double in London, and then what was the property's name? Lanesborough. Mm-hmm. Okay, London. Lanesborough, there it is.
Yeah. Because
Trivago shows you the lowest rates. Look at that, 896. Come on, hang on, USD. Ooh. Okay, hang on a second.
And that one is pounds, yeah?
896 pounds. USD.
No, the other way around. You want to go pounds.
Oh, thanks, yeah, pounds.
No, use USD to use other way around.
That one. So Trivago is showing 1198 USD.
And they're showing 10.
They're showing. Oh, okay.
1073. So even on that one, you saved.
Yeah, enough to make it interesting.
Correct.
Now the market price they're saying here is the average of a similar deal from Expedia Booking, etc. So how do they do it, Fabian? What's the magic here?
Go back to the slide.
Okay. Yep.
So essentially, what they're doing is the middle part is combines different reservation types to build the cheapest deal for the hotel you want.
So you actually stay for, if I get it right, if you have a 5-night stay, you have to check in and check out. You have to check in and check out a few times.
Possibly.
I like it. I don't like it, but I do like it. If you know what I mean.
But it's if you think back of the days in the hotel when you got free stays and didn't get free stays and you tried to get your employee offers, kind of stuff. We did the same thing. Oh, I can't get that for 3 days, so I'll take my employee offer for the 2 days, buy a friends and family for the next day, and then I get the next one. And all the property could say was like, oh, that's really naughty. You can't do that. Why can't I do that? Like, why can't I check out, check in? It's easier for you. You're saving housekeeping costs.
Honestly, I thought I was going to hate this, but now I kind of love it because it's a little bit mad. It's a little bit nutty, and I cool. Like it. I was going to hate it. I was about to hate it. Now I think it's hilarious, and I'm going to try it.
I'm definitely.
Will I check in?
I'm so going to try it.
Are you here for 2 nights? No, I'm here for 5, but I'm going to check out and check back in, and check out and check back in because I'm going to save $1.
No, mate. You just do it for the check-in experience, no? You literally just go for it and say, I'm going to try it. If you take this concept...
It's mental. It's really bad, and I like it.
If you take that concept forward, right?
Yeah.
So you're staying with us for 2 nights on a prepaid booking, and then tomorrow you have the spa included. And then, somebody else is joining you for the last one.
Yeah.
And you're sharing your room for the 5th night. And you
So for our hotelier audience, this is what I would do. You guys think, oh, Splitty, what a nightmare. No. Because when the guest checks in for a 5-night stay, but the first booking is only for 2 nights, well, sir, you know what? That's fantastic. Happy to honor that rate. And we'll make it all those different rates. We'll make it very easy for you. However, if you just extend with us directly, we can offer you this deal and let's compare notes. Actually, it's a better deal than what you're doing off with Splitty. Because obviously the hotel no longer pays commission. If they do the upsell and say those two more stays for the rest of the week, you can cancel those, right? You've got flexibility. So that's the counteraction from the hotelier is now use it to get direct bookings for longer lengths of stay, but upsell them on check-in to just extend as a direct booking and forget those other little split bookings. How's that?
Yeah, I think further down the line, you kind of want to be also fair to the Splitty guys. They're not trying to screw the hotels. What they're trying to do is They're trying to give the customer.
Well, no, they are. I wouldn't use the word screw, but no, Splitty are being very ingenious.
Oh, very innovative.
But
right?
it's driving the hotel revenue down. So what I'm saying,
no, it's not. It's essentially, you could argue if you come up with a 5-nighter for the Lansbury at $1,800, you discount it and you would never stay there. Now they're making $1,000. You can flip that on its head and say, beforehand, you would have never stayed there because you didn't want to spend $1,800. Now that it's $1,000, you're saying, you know what? For that, I'll stay there. And you're not paying the commissions. I don't know the commission structure of booking.com. And I don't know if you click on the book thing, I don't know if it's actually on the website.
Yeah.
Open the one again. No. Open the one that you searched.
This one here.
And click on book.
Right. Where am I going? I'm still in Splitty.
I'm still in Splitty, so it brings this up. And then show deals.
Yeah. So free breakfast, free cancellation, breakfast. Okay. Oh, I've got 28, 29. Okay, so I'm in the Superior Queen for the first day. See, you know what? If I have to change rooms, well, not me, but if guests have to change rooms, that could be a hassle.
But now, exactly as you said, now I would be the hotel and say like, hey, can we upgrade you to a premier room for the first night for X, Y, Z?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's interesting. I love it, but I also, you know what it is? That they're exploiting the fact that no OTA and almost no CRS, I said almost, supports full pattern length of stay pricing.
There's a big discussion if that actually makes sense, right? It becomes the
same.
distribution landscape doesn't hold up to it. So why have that feature if you can't use it? It's like, Erik, here's a Lamborghini, but I'm not giving you the keys.
No, exactly. So because of that fact, I mean, in RM theory, full pattern length of stay pricing would allow one booking at the correct optimal rate, rather than, you know, having all these different scenarios where a one-night stay within a 5-day pattern can do this and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool. I thought I was going to hate it, but I actually kind of like it, and I'm curious about it now. I'm curious.
Is LV still around? LV, you are a hotel.
Don't know. I think he's probably doing the morning meeting now, but he can watch this on catch up.
Yeah. No, I think for me, it's a sum up. It's another way of how pushing the needle forward. I think it's fantastic, mate. I think it's innovative. I think it's great. If you look at it from a traveler perspective, it's great. What it means for us is, as hoteliers or tech providers, we now got to get our act together in order to now deal with that complexity. It's not a complexity. That's the way just it is. You have that available. You have fragmented inventory. You have different pricing rules out there. You try to be very complex.
Yeah.
We'll take advantage of that for the consumer.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it for sure. Thumbs up from me as well. Thumbs up from me. So we're only an hour and a half into the show, or hour and 23. Shall we continue?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So Zori, Shiv. Shiv, I think I called him Zori. Shiv Shanakar. Hopefully you're still there. Hopefully you haven't dropped off. But Zori asked a question, and the question was, can you please explain, okay, the time's going. I've got 10 minutes here.
5.
No,
because that means...
We need to answer properly for Zori. Specifically, can you please describe the difference and explain ODS, IDS, and GDS? Yes. Firstly, they're acronyms, obviously. IDS is for Internet Distribution Systems. And what are Internet Distribution Systems? All the various OTAs, online travel agencies like Goibibo, Make My Trip, Agoda, Traveloka, La, plus the online wholesalers like Hotel Beds, GTA, and the online tour operators. I'm saying online because a lot of these old school wholesalers and tour operators are still offline. Then GDS, Global Distribution Systems. specifically Amadeus, Sabre, and the two Travelport brands, Galileo and WorldSpan. There are others, but these are the big four. And this is the platform where travel agents book, and I'll explain that further. Now, ODS, this is a funny one, sometimes called ADS or ODD. Basically, these are also IDSs. In other words, ODS is another name for IDSs. So what's the difference? The ODSs are IDSs which are available once you're connected to GDS. So I'm going to continue now. And as a CRS guy, remember this slide from episode 2? And Zori, I was saying a CRS will give you a pitch like this. A PMS will give you a similar pitch, but the PMS is in the middle rather than a little tiny smarty down there, a little button. And then you talk to the RMS supplier, and all of a sudden the little RMS down here will be the center of the screen, right? Okay, so in that slide, I've highlighted GDS and IDS. Let's now go to the next view, and we have GDS here, okay? GDS, think travel agent. Now the travel agent who books flights and books hotels and maybe car rental and other stuff, they do that through the GDS. So if you are a hotel that would like to be bookable by travel agents, GDS is something you should consider. It's most commonly a consideration for a hotel or a property that is looking to attract corporate bookings, whether they are domestic corporate or international corporate. And what we normally say is if your property is located in a major gateway city, or a major airport location, that's one criteria in favor of using GDS. But there are many nuances to GDS. Let's just say GDS, think travel agent, think the traveler who books via an agent. Now, from the GDS, there are onward distribution systems like OTAs, wholesalers, tour operators, because most connectivity through the GDS back in the day happened through Pegasus. I think they call it Disco now. It's a switch, right? And that switch provides all of these, let's say, legacy, old school, technology challenged kind of IDSs. It allows them to be bookable via the switch, okay? Onward distribution systems. Now, let's look at the IDSs. This is typical. Your CRS can connect you directly to these different channels, OTAs, wholesalers, tour operators. Now, if you'd like to look at this in detail, I've got a little link here. Yes, it's the vertical booking website, but there's plenty of links like this. And here you can quite clearly see the different types of IDSs. So let's click on OTAs. Here are the different OTAs. Here are the wholesalers and tour operators. And if we click on ADS by Disco, these are all of the different OTAs, tour operators, wholesalers that you can connect to if you wanted to once you're connected to GDS. Okay, so I'm not going to go through this right now, but there's a link. I'll put the link in the video and you can go for your heart's content there and check all that out. Now, final slide, just to confuse things even more, or hopefully clarify things even more. We basically have GDS and onward distribution. We've covered that. Now we have the GDS up here, and this is the point I'd like to make, particularly for small independent hoteliers. You don't need to connect to GDS directly from your CRS or your channel manager. You don't need to, or from your PMS, to be on the GDS, because as of a couple of years ago, the HRS, Fabian, your friends, Andre, mate, your friends, HRS and Expedia have done deals with Sabre and the GDS platforms to say, basically, your travel agents who would like to book more than just the hotels that are directly loaded on GDS, those travel agents also want long tail content. They want other leisure type properties or other corporate type properties that are not currently on GDS, but they are on Expedia or they are on HRS, sorry. So then, yes, Expedia and HRS have done a deal with Sabre and the GDS network. So your property can be booked by a travel agent on the GDS platform, even though you haven't loaded. Does that make sense? Now, how many minutes and seconds are we?
6 minutes 14. Done.
That was pretty good. Hey,
saw it, love. Saw it.
Shiv has a question. What's your question, Shiv? Ask away. Just type it in. I think. He wants to talk. Okay. Shiv, can you hear us? Shiv, speak. Oh no, he's going to ask a question now. Okay, hang on a second. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Shiv is asking. Well, I'm not sure if he's asking or he's just had a stroke. He's saying, travel agents, travel wholesalers, travel agent consortium, remote companies. Okay, there's a lot of words here. Okay, I think these are mostly prospective hotels. Yeah, that's true, Shiv. That's true.
Yeah.
No worries. Cool. So Shiv, that was for you, mate. Thank you for asking that question. Anyone actually want to ask a question, you can either join live or we actually have a Twitter hashtag called...
Do we?
Yeah, mate. I've been busy. We have a Twitter hashtag, which is Two Smart Fellas, but two with the number 2. So if I go over to Twitter right now and have a look at, where's Twitter? Right there. There's our hashtag, Two Smart Fellas. And someone else used that hashtag back in the day. That's me reminding everybody about some other stuff. So hashtag Two Smart Fellas. You can ask questions using that hashtag. And let's go back now to the deck. We've got some more questions here. So Shiv's asking, how can we communicate with them and deal with them? Easy, Shiv.
Hotels?
Talk to your friendly neighborhood CRS. Vertical booking is one. There are many. Talk to your tech supplier. Talk to a CRS supplier, Shiv. And I'll put a link for lots of different suppliers. You don't necessarily only have to deal with vertical booking. There's plenty of options there, mate. So, Fabian, I think that was my record for
that was your record.
Nice and concise. Hopefully it wasn't too rushed. And
No, it was great. I literally have 5 minutes left because I have to drive a car.
Okay, one more thing. So Flight Centre is the number 1 bricks and mortar, number 1 high street travel agency in Australia. So you think Flight Centre, GDS? Not necessarily. Flight Centre are opening up their API to CRSs to connect directly, or you can get to Flight Centre via GTA. So GTA, online wholesaler, also a gateway or a conduit into Flight Centre. So Fabian, does that mean you're going to leave? You're going to leave us soon? Let me do a quick news.
Yes.
Because we're almost done. So what have I been looking at recently? Well, I'm looking at Airbnb. December 11, December 14. So Paris has asked Airbnb to delist 1,000 apartments in Paris, which are illegally, illegally loaded. Now,
what does that actually mean, illegally loaded?
Oh, so as of the 1st of December, here's the article. Since the 1st of December, this is very news, this is hot off the press.
Whoa.
As of December 1st, you must register your apartment, otherwise it's illegal. Well done, Paris. Well done, France, for being the first place to ban rate parity. And now they're basically saying you can, no Airbnb, no problem. You must register. And by the way, Booking.com have already delisted 1,000 apartments also on Airbnb in Paris. Travel Weekly reported that Airbnb is rumored, hasn't happened, but rumored to be buying the vacation rental part, holiday apartment or cottages brand of Wyndham, which is called Ho Seasons. So Ho Seasons, there it is. So you don't know about it, but basically lots of cottages, and basically
it's a whole season.
Yes, different kind of Ho Seasons in Brazil, perhaps. Now, here, interesting, right? The other thing as well is Airbnb, and Engadget reported that Airbnb are making it easier to list B&B properties on their platform.
Nice.
So basically, you can see what's happening here, right? Airbnb are looking to really formally work with more professional suppliers, not people with an independent apartment only, but with B&B operators. So if you look at this news in context, the government putting pressure on Airbnb to delist apartments. At the same time, they're looking to buy a B&B cottage tour operator or brand, and also moving in closer. Now, will Airbnb one day sell Moxie rooms in Times Square?
They do already, mate.
Who knows? Do they?
Yeah. A lot of hotels are listing some of their more in the service department stuff.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But the service departments all have different items on Airbnb and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Even like in Australia, when you have strata title, even the owners sometimes put their own stuff up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So, mate, I think I did very well today in terms of keeping my stuff concise. And you know what I love? I love that your internet didn't drop out. I was not looking forward to being talking to myself here in this room if you had to drop off. So my love to the family. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I'm going to be in Scotland next Friday.
Oh, nice and cold. And I'm going to be at the beach, at the beach.
Nice. Oh, I didn't show you. Can you see my shirt?
Oh, yeah.
This is in honor of the Brazilian flavor of the shirt. I'm not sure if you can see it. This is my shirt from 2001 when I'm wearing
Canada.
Oh, nice. Team
Steamboat.
I thought it was Team Borat. It says Steamboat.
No, then I would wear a bikini.
LV says, thank you. Great podcast. And Merry Christmas. Thanks, LV. Thank you. Same to
Merry
you,
Christmas, LV.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk logic soon.
Now, the other thing, my shirt it's from 2001, and I was in the Carnival in Rio, and I saw pictures. Yeah, with a samba school called Mocidade Independiente de Padre Miguel, and that's my shirt, my souvenir. Andre says, nice job, Merry Christmas. Same to you, mate. Hopefully.
Same to you, Merry Christmas.
And yeah, great, awesome. So this is cool. You know, we're getting subscribers, we're getting love on LinkedIn. Did you see the little trailer that I put together, the 30-second thing?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's a cool little connection of, I love it. I absolutely love it.
The credit must go to our graphics department. We've got a fantastic, we have a fantastic productions team behind the scenes who make us look good. We just roll up here and talk. But I really must give thanks and shout out to our production team. Excellent work, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's called Erika Munoz.
It's DIY, mate. DIY.
It's all DIY, but that's what makes it so beautiful. Maybe in 2018, we're going to go mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, drive safely. Enjoy Brazil. Have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Love to the family.
See you, mate. Take care.
See ya.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Vem pra cadeia, rochão, traz a lenha pro fogão, vem fazer